Welcome to Roses and Weeds. My name is Adriana Rodriguez, and I'm here with...
Hi, my name is Payton Weidman. I'm a Public Information Officer for the City of Tyler, and joining us today we have our Fire Chief, David Coble, and our Streets Foreman, Tony Vickers. Hi, guys.
Hello, yes. How are you?
Hello.
We're filming this right before a pretty significant event that we're going to experience this weekend, but we know every year there is at least one severe weather event. So we have the two experts of the city that deal the most with this. So we have, like Payton said, Chief Coble, which is our fire chief, and he's also the
Emergency Management Coordinator.
Yes, thank you, the Emergency Management Coordinator for the city. And Tony Vickers, he's with our streets departments, and that's one of the main things people have issues with every year is either eyes or limbs or other issues on the streets, flooding and all that. So again, thank y'all for coming.
You're welcome.
You're welcome.
Okay, so tell us a little bit about what each of y'all do, and what does it mean to be chief at the emergency operations manager?
We prepare for this often. We run drills, we do mock scenarios, and it prepares us mostly for these events. But there's always the unknown. So This time we are expecting some of everything, maybe some icing, maybe some black ice on the road, and then maybe some snow as well. So we're preparing for the worst and hoping for the best.
Yes. What are y'all doing at Streets, Tony?
Street Department has got plenty of de-icing material. It's a mixture of potassium and sodium chlorides that we put out on the roadways before the event actually hits to help pre-treat that. And as that freezing rain falls, it'll begin to melt immediately. We started this last couple of years using this material, and it seems to work really, really well. We'll concentrate on our main thoroughfares to the hospital district, major bridges and overpasses and that sort of thing. We've got everything's ready to go. We're just waiting for Friday to get here.
Yeah, so speaking about that, since we have this upcoming event, and we did go ahead and record this episode to try and push it out beforehand, what are some tips that y'all would advise people when it comes to not only winter weather, but severe weather in Texas?
Well, the big thing is to stay off the roads if you can. Yes. When we have these predictable events that are coming, we already know they're going to be here. So every news station now is putting out something. The newspapers, every media outlet is putting out something saying this is coming, this is coming. So all that preparation that they talk about is real. So get to the store maybe today or tomorrow instead of waiting till Friday, and stock up on things that both foods that need to be heated and foods that may not need to be heated in case you lose electricity. If you have an outdoor grill that you can prepare food on, make sure that the propane is up to the top level. Fill up your vehicles. Make sure that you charge all your phones and those things around the house that you will need. Batteries in your flashlights, those kind of things are available to you just in case. We're getting really good information from Encore. We're in touch with them as well, and they're telling us that the reliability is at top notch and it's ready to go. And so fingers are crossed. The issue here is it may not be a widespread power outage, but if you have icing on electrical lines, there may be localized power outages that may take time because the crews can't get there as fast because there's ice and snow on the roads. So there may be some localized that may affect a few people, but to those people, it's very, very important.
Yes. Mm-hmm. I know there's something that happened. We're not saying this is going to be anything like 2021 when we had Uri, but I know the big issue we had back then was people going on the road and then they would get stuck. Mm-hmm. So I know a lot of your calls for the fire department was to go pick up those people or get their cars out of the road, right?
We did some of that. Police department did a great job of helping out. We all have those cattle bumpers on the front so that we can help push people out of the road and clear the road. But great thing is it's over the weekend. I know it's going to ruin some people's weekends plans, but all the business people that were normally open or those things that happen during the weekday, won't be happening, so people can hunker down and stay home and maybe spend some good time with family and read a
Yes.
book or do some of those cozy things. If you have a fireplace, stock up your wood so you can run your fireplace and enjoy that time maybe with family. And here in Texas, we'll cocoon down for 1 or 2 days,
Yes.
and then we'll pop out again on Monday or Tuesday and just go right back to where we were.
Just a short
right.
hibernation.
I know.
Yes.
I was just thinking in Texas, who knows? We could see the freezing weather this weekend and then be back in the 80s in 2 weeks.
Absolutely.
And Tony, I know you were talking to us before that we started the episode that y'all already is planning for 12-hour shifts. Is that right?
Yes, starting Friday morning, we're going to go to 12-hour shifts, so there'll be somebody in that office 24/7. We'll have the iPads up and running, the computer system. We've got generators in case we lose power, like the chief said, so we're all prepared. We'll be monitoring the roads constantly. If the fire department needs assistance somewhere, we'll immediately run and assist them with the de-icer so we can get them moving, or the public, we do whatever we can.
Mm-hmm. And one thing people may not think about as we go into this event is that the streets department, y'all aren't only, putting down the de-icer and helping in case there's any fallen limbs or trees, but you also help with traffic and getting generators over to our traffic signals. Can you talk to us about that, Tony?
Actually, traffic does all of that. The street department does not.
Oh, okay. I'm so sorry.
Yeah, the sign and traffic shop are all totally different departments, so.
Right. But they have helped clear
Yeah,
the
we
road.
have helped clear the road.
And so cutting some tree limbs, some small tree limbs and so forth, they've been very, very good at helping us. Those kind of calls bog down the fire department. So we do have plans to put 2 additional units on as part of the response crew on both Saturday and Sunday. We're going to play it by ear whether or not we'll need them also on Monday. But we get bogged down with calls like power lines down. Now, they're really important, so we have to stand by there so no one runs over them and get electrocuted. So we use those smaller trucks, so we'll have a couple of them in service to take the load off of the larger trucks so that they can respond to fires or other things that may happen during that time. Then I know the police department is also staffing up some as well, and they'll have additional units on the road as well.
And Tony, what are those roads that y'all focus on with the de-icing material? Because I know you can't do every road.
Yeah, we can't do every road, so we won't be going into these little neighborhoods and off streets. We can't do it. Our main priority is the major thoroughfares through the city. The hospital district is especially important to us. We have to keep those emergency personnel where they can get in and out. So that's our main focus, is those major thoroughfares and these steep hills at some of the major intersections where we can keep traffic flowing.
And I think that's really important to talk about because people sometimes think there's going to be de-icing the streets. But it's getting to those major thoroughfares that's where the problem is, because you're in that small road that maybe doesn't get too much sun and you can't see, the ice doesn't melt, you get black ice, and then suddenly you're stuck in a ditch.
Absolutely. People do have this belief that the city has all this de-icer and they can do every road, every private road, every apartment complex, and that's not what it's for. It's for the emergency roads so you can get emergency equipment in and out. The expectation of emergency management is people will stay home and they will not get out and be part of the problem. So again, preparation is key. If you need food, you need gas, you need cooking stuff or anything you need for your home, go get it today and go get it tomorrow. Don't wait until the last minute or you'll be fighting all the people on Friday afternoon. I'm sure the stores are going to be crowded because everyone's going to be in a panic. But we already know it's coming. And the probability of it coming is really high. We keep getting information from the National Weather Service, and it just keeps going up as far as probability of it happening, and the temperature seems to keep dropping. So
Yes, I saw that.
we thought we'd have a pretty decent warm up on Monday. Now it's looking like Monday's going to be fairly cold as well.
Yes.
But we will get some sunshine. And the sun's always a blessing to us. So even when it's below freezing, that sun will melt some of the roads, and it will assist this de-icing that they already have on the roads, and they'll clear up and dry. So being cold and dry is fine. Cold and wet's not fine. So
And now that you mentioned the de-icer too, every year we get this question of, why are you de-icing the roads 2 days before the event. How does that help? Can
Well-
you tell us about that?
Well, I normally don't do it 2 days before the event, but TXDOT has such a large area to cover. They need to get that brine down on the road ahead of this
Okay.
event to help protect that surface, keep it from freezing.
So it's it will just prevent the road from freezing. It's not like something that would just go away with the rain and stuff.
Well, it's to help prevent that, but if
Yeah.
you get some of these major icing conditions, it can be treacherous, so.
I see. Okay.
Yeah, TXDOT has already started on
Yes.
on I-20 and
Yes.
some of the major thoroughfares. They've started yesterday and today. Even though it's raining, they say it's still effective.
Yes.
Even though the road will get wet, it's still effective because apparently it seeps into the asphalt some, into the concrete, and so it assists. But they'll continue to do it
Yes, okay.
until the event happens.
That's
Yes.
great information because we always get that question and we now we know.
Yeah, matter of fact, TXDOT's already done Beckham and the local area for me. I was in touch with Mark this morning, matter of fact.
That's
with
great.
TXDOT, so.
Tony, will you share with us which roadways in the city that TXDOT prioritizes?
5th Street overpass, Beckham, which is 110, and Gentry Parkway 69, and then that's pretty much what they cover. Black Fork Creek going out north of 69, and then when they're in full-blown mode, I'll take over for TXDOT and take care of Black Fork Creek and anything inside the city, and if I get in the bind, then he'll try to pull a crew and help me out. So we have a good working relationship and have had for years, and it works great.
It's great to have all this collaboration between, like you say, you're in contact with Concord, and Tony, you're in contact with TXDOT, and it's really a all-inclusive effort.
It is.
It is.
It is. East Texas really comes together when there's a disaster, and they've already started. We've seen this song before, and we're about to sing it again. So everyone can get our sheet of music together, so we can play together. And we have great collaboration in East Texas, and I'm very proud of that. That even the other fire departments around us, assistance, and if they need our assistance, we'll go to their aid as well. But this time, again, if people will stay home, and that will eliminate most of the issue. The other is going to be ice, just a small quarter-inch accumulation of freezing rain on the overhead lines will cause them to have issues, and then a limb will break that's already weak. It gets ice on it, it will break, and it'll fall on that line, and when it does, we go out, they go out, they're going out to help maybe clear the street. We go out because there's a power line down, and it's still charged until Encore gets there, and then they'll pull the fuse, and then they'll go into repair mode, or just it will be off. But then the residents are on the backside of that, and they'll be without power for a minute.
Chief, will you explain to people why Encore takes responsibility when there is a down power line?
They own all the transmission lines. So even if you have a different power company, you use Green Mountain, and I'm just throwing some names out there, they own the equipment. They own all of the lines and the underground and above ground lines. So they do the repair work on it. And then somehow I guess the other companies have a pool that they get in to help with that. But all of them are leasing those lines from Encore, even though they may be a different company selling you electricity.
And it's also a safety concern because you wouldn't want your people that are not trained to work with electricity to touch those.
Exactly. And then we also get an influx of people. Now I'm assuming it's going to be linemen from down south, because most of North Texas, from the Panhandle all the way through to us, is going to get this ice event. So we're going to probably have to be south of Austin before. But Texas is really good about that. Louisiana's good about it. But we're all going to get really cold, and it's going to be a pretty good swath of us this time around.
And I know you mentioned down tree limbs and down power lines. How do people report those?
They can call Encore. There'll be a number for that. They can call 911 if it's an emergency. They see sparking, or they think something's on fire. They call us out. We make direct contact with Encore as well. So no waiting for us, which as it should be, because it's an emergency. But they can get on the phone and call And a lot of times Encore, when it's really bad, they'll have a list. They'll say, yes, we have your information, your address, and it's being reported. So
Yeah.
they may not ever talk to you, but it's still being reported. So we'll get those. And then if it's something really bad, if it's out of the street, no one's driving over it, then I would say residents should just call Encore.
Okay.
But if it's in the street and it's blocking the street, someone's going to run over it, it's going to create an issue, or it's on fire, sparking, then yes, they should call 911.
And so, Tony, tell us, how can people report when they come across a fallen tree or limb in the roadway?
They can either call the street department office, or they can call the PD non-emergency line, and they'll dispatch it to us. And if it's blocking the roadway, we'll certainly get into it. But it would be helpful, the more information they can give, like if they know there's a down power line in that tree, the faster we know that, we can get in touch with Encore and they can get that handled where we can do our job. We don't want to touch anything with a down power line.
Absolutely,
So
yeah.
great point.
They cannot cut a tree until Encore comes and do their thing. Same thing with us. We won't move the line out of the way until Encore comes and make it safe.
And Tony, can you give us that phone number?
Our phone number is 903-531-1393, and I believe the police non-emergency number is 903-531-1000.
Awesome. And then we also have the app. So I know if you have the My Tyler app on your phone, you will be able to specifically select the coordinates of where you're seeing that down tree.
Mm-hmm.
But like you said before, if it's on the side of the road, don't worry about it. It's not an emergency. If it's blocking the road, that's when we really need you to tell us, because we can't be everywhere, and that would be the best way for us to be notified.
Yes.
And Chief, let's talk about how fire prepares. And one of the ways that y'all prepare is by getting together with Smith County, and during the different seasons, you put together a response plan. So right now, we're utilizing our cold weather response plan. What is that process like, and what's involved in that?
Every year we go in and we take a look at it to update it, to make sure that the information in there is current. The big thing is our shelters. So we're looking at the shelters and who has volunteered. We have churches. There's some city facilities as well that will open up. And we will give them a call to make sure they're still available. Unfortunately, some churches do go under and sell or move, and they're no longer here in Tyler. So we will check the list to make sure everyone who's on it can still be activated. So now we constantly have the Salvation Army, the American Red Cross. Those entities are 24/7. They're always available. But we here in Tyler, again, East Texas community, we have a group of people, churches and facilities that will open up their doors to help their citizens out whenever someone loses power. So the shelters are good for people who are either not housed or, which Salvation Army does a great job of that. Red Cross can help with that. But the other shelters come into play when people lose power. And there's going to be a long event before they get power back. And so now there's a chance of them being cold in their homes again, as we experienced previously. So, no one's home should be 30 degrees or it should not be 40 degrees. So those people are the ones that would need to go to the shelter. So then we hear about it in a certain area. We would reach out and ask one of the shelters, can you open your doors? And they'll open their doors so that they can receive those people in a warm area. And then we would assist in doing that as well. We also have a bus that we use as a rehab bus. And if we have an incident where people are displaced, instead of them standing outside, we'll bring our bus out and we'll keep them in that warm area until Red Cross can assist them as well.
That's great.
Yes, I love that. And I know we've already had some shelters saying they're preparing to open. If the situation does come this weekend where we are opening warming shelters, we will have that information on our website, cityoftyler.org, as well as on our social platforms. So we will try to get the word out.
Yes, on social media we will post everything that you need to know, but specifically our Facebook, that is where we can share the most information and links to other places. So if you're not following us there, this is not a shameless plug, it is for your safety. Follow us on Facebook. That would be the best place to find up-to-date information.
Absolutely. The good thing about it, if the television's off, they have their phone, they can follow Facebook there.
Yes.
And good thing is, a lot of times the Wi-Fi towers are still working. Your internet provider may be down because you don't have electricity, but you will the other
You
way.
still have signal,
Yeah,
yes.
you still have a signal
Yes.
on your phone, so
But-
that's really important.
If on the off chance your phone dies, you can also sign up for Smart 911 Rave Alerts that will send you notifications to your phone or email if you sign up for email, so you can pull up your laptop or computer and know what's going on. We send out alerts for weather-related events as well as other situations going on in the city. So you can find that information also on our website, cityoftyler.org.
And then the last thing I want to talk about in this segment is the preemption, what is it called? The emergency vehicle preemption system that y'all have. Talk us about that, because it's very interesting.
We have the traffic department helped us get those. It's coming up on 2 years now, and they assist us in getting through lights. So if the light is red, our preemptive device will hit a receiver that's on the signal light and change it to green. So if a citizen's sitting at a light and they think it just turned red, why did it turn green right away? Well, behind them more than likely is a fire truck. And so it's allowing that fire truck to pass. That don't mean everybody go. It still means everyone get over to the right
Yes.
and allow the emergency vehicle to go by. And so once they clear, it will get back to its normal cycle. So then they can proceed as long as they're more than 300 feet behind the emergency vehicle.
That's great, because that will just help you get places faster, right?
Exactly. It helps us to get around. Not in this case doing these events. If people are home, then we shouldn't have crowded intersections as much as we do when they.
So what we're hearing, and Chief has said it multiple times, you got to listen to Chief, is stay home, especially if you can. If you're one of our first responders, we appreciate your help. Everyone that doesn't have to be on the road, just stay home.
Absolutely.
Yes. I know I learned something last year from the streets department about how when there's ice on a roadway and then cars drive over it, it will slightly start to melt. But then if you get more ice on top of that, that can lead to black ice and create a more dangerous situation. So we really do encourage you just to stay home if you are able to. But if you do, for some reason, need to travel, remember those areas that Tony mentioned.
Okay, we're going to take a quick break, and we'll be right back.
Parking at Tyler Pound is pure harmony. Just a few steps and you're inside the terminal.
At Tyler Pounds, getting through TSA is like nailing an 8 count. Quick, smooth, and right on beat.
With larger overhead bins, there's plenty of space for our carry-on snares.
And we're back with this episode of Roses and Weeds, and next we want to dive into the 4 Ps: people, pets, pipes, and plants. So, as we all know, we get cold. We're human beings. And we all need to prepare for this weekend for what we could be seeing. So what are some tips, Chief and Tony, that y'all would recommend for anybody going outside?
Well, you should layer up because, of course, this is Texas, so we don't have as many overcoats as they do up north. So we're really cold now, but in a few minutes we'll be warmer. So we want to peel one layer or two off. Something that I found to be very useful is a scarf. I didn't realize, being from Texas, born here, how well a scarf actually works. Until not too long ago, someone gave me a scarf and I actually put it on and it changed my temperature right away. And so, being from Texas,
Yeah.
I never wear scarves, so I didn't give it a thought. But I have a scarf in my car now to put on every now and then. Even if you have a light jacket on, you throw that scarf on and your temperature goes up a few degrees. It's amazing. Who knew? I guess they've been around for a long time, and people in Texas just aren't familiar with scarves, and especially guys who are on the fire department probably. We don't wear many scarves, but a scarf, a blanket, maybe some water in your car if you're getting out. If you're making a trip for any length of distance and you possibly can get stuck, all of those things are there. Again, if you're a resident and you don't have to go anywhere, then, make sure your car's full and you have to get away and go to a shelter. That's the reason why you should fill up your car today or tomorrow or before Friday. And that's just prep work in case you need to get out. And then if you do need to get out, throw a blanket in there in case your car stops or you're involved in, you slide off one of the roads over in a ditch and we can't get to you right away and your car stops and it's not on. So now the temperature is as low as 15 degrees is what they're saying it might do. So you want to stay in your car, get on your phone, call us, we're on our way. But in the meantime, you may have a child with you or something, so you need a blanket and maybe some water, and then we'll get to you as fast as we can.
And I know something that is very important to talk about heater safety.
Oh, that's really important. So we do have fires this time of the year, mainly due to space heaters and people using alternative means of staying warm. So space heaters should always be plugged directly into the wall. No extension cords on space heaters because they will build up. They draw a lot of energy from electricity. And if you touch the cord of a space heater that's on an extension cord, it's normally hot. And overnight, that thing's working all night trying to keep you warm. It's going to warm up the carpet or anything it's next to. And we recommend 3 feet or more away from anything that's combustible. That's curtains, that's furniture, everything. So a space heater should be pointed toward open air. Open air, not pointed toward the side of a sofa or the side of curtains or anything like that, and plugged directly into the wall, not an extension cord.
And what about generators?
Generators are great. A lot of people in Texas have bought them, especially in this area, since Uri. So some of those people are going to be just fine. So if your power goes off and you look down the street and your neighbor's lights are on,
have a generator.
You may want to go visit your neighbor because, and hopefully you like them and you've been getting along with them for a while. They may let you come over for a warm cup of cocoa. Generators, the ones that are built in the whole house ones, we have them on all of our fire stations. We have them on our emergency operations center. So those generators are on a pad and they're outside. The safety of them is normally pretty well off. It's the portable generators that we're talking about. Those need to make sure they're outside and clear of any ventilation coming to your house because they cause carbon monoxide issues and that. So outside, please do not bring any cooking type stuff out. Leave it outside. Don't bring a grill inside and think, oh, I'll use my grill to get warm. There's people who will go to sleep and they won't wake up because carbon monoxide will replace the oxygen in their system, and and it's bad for us too when we get on the scene. If it's a carbon monoxide poisoning, it can overwhelm firefighters when they get there as well. So any type of outside cooking utensils need to stay outside what they're made for. Everything else vents out of the house. So if you have a wood burning stove, make sure you open the vent so it filters outside. But just monitor. No generators inside unless you have one of those battery only generators. So they are calling those generators now, and there are lithium batteries. They're all in one. You can put them inside. They produce no fumes or anything like that. You can't have those in your home. But any gas powered, diesel powered generators need to be outside and well vented.
Got it.
Thank you, Chief. Great tips. And now,
Let's talk about pets.
exactly, I was about to say, just as important as us people are pets. So we know Texas put out a new state law a couple years ago, how if you do have outside pets, they require adequate shelter, water, and food. And with this type of weather we're anticipated to get, please make sure your pets are taken care of. If you can, go ahead and bring them on in.
And when we say adequate shelter, that means a roof and at least 3 sides. So it cannot just be out in like a carport.
No.
It has to have 3 sides. And you have to make sure that their water and food is not frozen. That is
Correct.
a big one. And so really, if you can, bring them inside. That is the safest thing.
Exactly.
And I know people think like their dogs are fine. It's going to be very cold and they're not used to it. Just like us.
Exactly.
They're from Texas.
Yeah, I was just about to say that. They're also Texans.
And
I mean,
exactly. Be very careful in rigging any type of heating device on your dog's pet shelter. So we've seen those go really bad. People put heat lamps out there, and it will go really bad for the pet, or it will cause a fire. And so a lot of people think, oh, I'll just set up a heater for my pet his little fur, it may be too close to him. Remember, 3 feet or more in front of a space heater, and your dog little shelter is only about 3 feet all it on its own. So you mount this heat lamp in there, and it's pouring down on your dog, and they can actually get skin burn from a heat lamp. And so, but also they're outside, they're on all the time. They could cause a fire. So. Something you could do if you don't think, oh, my pet needs to be inside. You have a garage. If you have a garage area, you can put your pet in the garage. Trust me, they'll love you for it.
Yes.
And lots of blankets, lots of things, because the wind is off of them. Of course, you know, we have a temperature, and then we have wind chill, where your dog or your animals that are outside are subject to wind chill as well. And so when they have the feels like -1, well, that's what it feels like to your pet as well, if they don't have something to keep the wind off of them.
Yes, and then we also have to worry about pipes. So Tony, do you want to talk about pipes and especially the issues that cause under the roads?
Yes, any outdoor exposed pipes needs to be wrapped with the pipe insulation. You can get it at any hardware store, lumber yard, and it's worth the money because you don't want to have a big plumbing bill. When your house gets cold at night, it's always good to open your cabinet doors and let that heat get under those cabinets. If you're going to be away, turn that water faucet on and let it drip. Keep that water moving so it does not freeze.
And one thing that we like to encourage people to do is if you are letting your water drip from your faucets, collect that water in some type of a container, and then you can recycle it for your plants.
Yeah. Yes, that way you're not wasting any water.
Exactly.
But also, if your pipes do freeze, something I've learned is to go outside and turn off the pressure, because then, or what do you call it?
Turn the water meter on.
Water
The water
meter.
meter.
Right.
Yes, because then the pressure of the water, once it starts going again, it can break your pipes.
Exactly.
And that's where
Exactly.
you get into a lot of trouble.
Exactly.
And we also have a video on our YouTube of how you can turn off your water meter. If you need that, find us on YouTube.
And then lastly, let's talk about plants and trees. I know we mentioned a little bit trees. If they're on the road, please call us, let us know. But if you have trees in your property, we have some messages from our arborist to things you can do. Payton, do you want to cover these real quick?
Yes, I was about to say, so one that I thought was so smart was do a quick spot check. So, it's a little rainy today. It may be hard to do any type of pruning or cutting, but you can still identify areas that may have a potential risk. And if your car is close by, go ahead and find a new spot to park your vehicle or move anything that you might worry could be broken or damaged. And then for any future incidents, go ahead and do a spot check and make a plan to get rid of any trees that need to come down, whether they're dead or you're just concerned your safety takes priority. And of course, protect new trees and saplings that you may have growing in your yard. We love how beautiful Tyler is, and we know everybody wants to protect their yard. So these are just some tips to help you. Also, if you do have a tree fall or a limb fall during this incident this weekend or at any time, please make sure you use caution as you walk around and observe the area. Don't just go up to it. You don't know if there's anything that broke underneath it and could cause any issues for you, or maybe there's more tree limbs that could be falling down from that tree.
And we'll have this full list from our city arborist on our website as well and linked on the show notes so that you can find out what you can do today or what you can do before any other storms in the future. So talking about preparing for the future, Payton, tell us let's repeat again, how to get alerts, how to report issues.
Yes, so if you want to receive emergency notifications from the City of Tyler, you're going to want to sign up for the Smart 911 Rave Alert system. And I should say, if you're listening to this and you live in Smith County, you should sign up as well. This is a regional emergency alert system, so maybe you have a family member that you love and want notifications about nearby. You can sign up for their notifications as well as yours. And so we encourage everybody to do that. It's free. As I mentioned earlier, you can find out more details on how to sign up for Rave Alerts on our website, cityoftyler.org. And now, if you want to report any issues that may have occurred, or at any time, really, report a pothole to us, report a fallen tree limb, report a code enforcement violation, you're going to want to download the free My Tyler app, and it'll help you with whatever situation you may need this weekend or in the future.
And Tony, what were those phone numbers again if you want to call?
Street Department phone number is 903-531-1393. Police is 903-531-1000.
And those are non-emergency phone numbers.
Yes.
And of course, if you do have an emergency, Chief, what do they do?
Call 911.
All right.
Well, I think that's
both.
everything. Thank you
Yes.
for being here today.
You're welcome.
Thank you for having me.
And let's repeat one more time. You do not have to leave your house, then do not leave the house.
Please stay home.
Stay home, and that will keep you safe, your neighbors safe, and our first responders safe. And thank you again for joining us. This is Roses and Weeds.